Family, let me begin with a word that will shake you to your core. You are under attack because you are valuable. You don't waste ammunition on empty ground. You don't put guards around an empty vault. You don't place pressure where there's nothing worth pressing. If the battle seems fierce, it's because your destiny is priceless. The enemy sees something on you that maybe you haven't even recognized yet. You wonder why life feels like a battlefield, why obstacles keep stacking up, why one storm barely ends before another one rises. It's because you are carrying something heaven deposited inside of you. And that deposit, your calling, your assignment, your influence is so significant that it attracts resistance. Pressure isn't proof of weakness. It's proof of importance. Let me put it this way. When construction, workers are building something small, the opposition is light. But when they are building something massive, they need heavy equipment, strong foundations, and constant oversight. The size of your struggle is evidence of the size of your future. If you're facing extraordinary battles, it's because you've been marked for extraordinary impact. Now, hear me. Attacks don't come to define you. They come to distract you. The strategy is simple. If you can be discouraged, you'll stop. If you can be delayed, you'll quit. If you can be deceived, you'll settle for less. But you've got to decide, I will not back down. I will not give up. I will not surrender what God has placed in me. Some of you are wondering, why me? Why this season? Why this intensity? Because breakthroughs are always preceded by battles. Deliverance is always preceded by difficulty. Promises are always preceded by pressure. Don't confuse the storm with the absence of God. It may actually be the announcement that God is near, preparing to lift you to another level. The attack is not random. It is targeted. It's not because you are weak. It's because you are strong. It's not because you are forgotten. It's because you are chosen. That's why doors suddenly seem to slam. That's why relationships shake. That's why finances wobble. That's why your mind feels under siege. It's not that you're failing. It's that you're close. Listen carefully, resistance is confirmation. You don't resist what doesn't move. You don't attack what doesn't threaten. If you're under attack, it's because you've become a threat to darkness. That's why your family is under pressure. That's why your health is being tested. That's why your dreams feel delayed. Because when you rise, others rise. When you step forward, chains break. When you fulfill your assignment, heaven's agenda advances. So what do you do when the attack won't stop? You stand, you fight. You press forward. You refuse to negotiate with fear. You refuse to be silenced by discouragement. You refuse to bow down to pressure. You remind yourself, if the battle is this strong, the blessing must be even greater. This is not the time to retreat. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to play small. This is the time to armor up, to rise in faith, to keep wanting when it hurts, to keep believing when it's hard, to keep declaring when it feels impossible. The fiercest attacks often come right before the greatest breakthroughs. So hear me today. The attack is proof that you matter. The struggle is proof that you are chosen. The resistance is proof that you are close. Don't let the fire scare you. It's refining you. Don't let the storm break you. It's shaping you. Don't let the attack silence you. It's confirming you. Now is your moment to rise. Now is your time to fight. Now is your season to declare, I will not quit. I will not be moved. I will not bow. I will walk in the fullness of who I was created to be. Stand tall, walk bold, and live unstoppable. Because the attack only proves the assignment is real. You are valuable, and that value is not defined by your circumstances, your past mistakes, or the opinions of others. Your worth is inherent, rooted in a purpose that is bigger than any obstacle you have faced or will face. Many people walk through life thinking that if things are hard, it means they are weak. That if the storms keep coming, it must mean they are failing. Or that if no one seems to notice their efforts, it must mean they are insignificant. But the truth is the exact opposite. The very reason the enemy keeps pressing against you, the very reason that opposition seems relentless, is because you carry something rare and precious. Something that is designed to make a difference in ways that go beyond what you can see with your eyes or comprehend with your mind. When you understand this, everything begins to shift. You begin to see your struggles not as punishments or signs of inadequacy, but as confirmations of your importance. You are being pressed because you are full of potential, full of influence, full of the kind of promise that can change not just your life, but the lives of countless others around you. Think about it this way. The world does not expend energy on what is empty, on what has no impact, on what does not matter. No one guards an empty house, and no one plans elaborate attacks against someone who is irrelevant. The very fact that you are facing challenges, that people or situations are opposing you, that your plans seem blocked, is proof that what you carry is worth noticing. It is proof that you are positioned for something far beyond the ordinary, far beyond the status quo. Every trial, every difficulty, every moment where it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders is a reminder that you are a person of consequence. You may feel overlooked, underestimated, or underappreciated, but the truth is that your life has a significance that cannot be measured by applause, recognition, or temporary success. The value you carry is intrinsic, not extrinsic, and because it is intrinsic, it draws attention from forces that would rather see it suppressed or destroyed. This value is not just about what you can achieve for yourself. It is about what you can contribute to the world, to your family, to your community, and to the larger purpose that was set before you the moment you were born. When you walk in the truth of your inherent worth, you begin to see attacks differently. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is being prepared in me through this challenge? You realize that opposition is not a sign of weakness or failure, but a sign that what you carry is being noticed, that it is being tested, and that it has the power to shape the course of events around you. Your life, your purpose, and your calling are like precious jewels hidden in the earth, valuable, rare, and highly sought after. The pressure, the friction, the attack, and the resistance are all part of the refining process designed to prepare that value for manifestation. Many people never reach their full potential because they cannot endure the pressure that comes with being valuable. They see opposition and assume they are being rejected or overlooked. They see resistance and think they are inadequate. But if you understand the principle of value, you will realize that every attack, every struggle, every obstacle is not an indication that you are failing. It is a confirmation that you are carrying something worth fighting for, worth protecting, and worth elevating. The enemy knows the power that resides within you. That is why the pressure exists. That is why doors seem to close, relationships seem strained, and circumstances seem designed to break your spirit. It is because you are positioned for something extraordinary, and extraordinary things always attract attention, resistance, and scrutiny. When you walk through life aware of your inherent value, you begin to reject mediocrity. You refuse to accept the lies that suggest you are insignificant or disposable. You begin to see every struggle as part of the process, every challenge as a training ground, and every opposition as a signal that you are on the right path. You start to understand that your life has a purpose that is far greater than comfort, convenience, or immediate recognition. That value within you is a spark that can ignite change, inspire others, and leave a legacy that will outlast you. It is a light that darkness cannot extinguish, a strength that no storm can overcome, and a presence that no attack can diminish. You are valuable, and because of that, value life will test you, pressure you, and challenge you in ways that may seem overwhelming at times. But the very fact that you are under attack is proof that what you carry matters. It is proof that your existence has significance. It is proof that your influence is needed. And when you fully embrace that truth, you begin to walk with a boldness, confidence, and resilience that cannot be shaken by circumstances, criticism, or opposition. Pressure is not a sign that you are failing. Pressure is proof that you are important. It is proof that what you carry within you is significant and that your life has influence far beyond what you may currently perceive. Too often, people mistake pressure for punishment, and they allow challenges, hardships, and difficulties to make them feel like they are not enough. But let me tell you this. Pressure is the tool used to shape what is valuable. It is the force that prepares ordinary people for extraordinary destiny. When life presses against you, it is not because you are weak. It is because you are strong enough to handle something greater than you have handled before. It is because the assignment on your life is too critical to leave untested, too powerful to go unchecked, and too important to ignore. Think of it like a piece of gold. Gold is mined from deep within the earth, buried under layers of rock and mud. It is under intense heat and pressure for centuries before it emerges in its pure form. The same principle applies to you. Pressure is the refining fire, the weight that strengthens your character, the challenge that develops your faith, and the difficulty that stretches your capacity to carry what has been entrusted to you. Every struggle, every obstacle, and every season of discomfort is intentional, designed to prepare you for what you are meant to accomplish. The greater the pressure, the greater the promise. The heavier the load, the brighter the outcome. The harder the test, the more potent the testimony. Many people fail to understand this principle because they measure success by comfort and ease. They assume that if life were truly blessed, there would be no struggle, no opposition, no difficulty. But that is not how destiny works. If you are facing pressure, it is because you are on the path of significance. The enemy knows that pressure is the way to discourage you, to make you doubt your purpose, and to tempt you to settle for less than what you are called to achieve. But pressure is not an obstacle. It is a signpost pointing to the value of what you are carrying. It is evidence that your life matters, that your calling is real, and that your influence is imminent. Pressure also has the ability to reveal who you truly are. It exposes character, tests faith, and demonstrates resilience. When you are under attack, when circumstances seem impossible, and when the weight feels unbearable, you discover the depth of your courage, the strength of your resolve, and the clarity of your purpose. Pressure forces you to lean on your inner resources, on your faith, and on your vision. It strips away everything superficial and leaves only what is essential. It separates those who are ready for their breakthrough from those who are not. It distinguishes between temporary strength and enduring power, between shallow faith and unshakable belief. This is why pressure is a confirmation. It is not random, it is targeted. It is not meaningless, it is deliberate. The trials you face, the attacks that come against you, the resistance that surrounds you, they are all aligned with the revelation that you are carrying something precious, something destined for impact, something too valuable to be ignored. Pressure signals importance, significance, and purpose. It is the universe, the heavens, and the spiritual realm conspiring to prepare you for what you are meant to accomplish. Every moment of difficulty is a rehearsal for triumph. Every season of stress is training for victory. Every challenge is a signal that you are walking in a lane reserved for those who are chosen, for those who are marked for influence, for those who are capable of overcoming every obstacle in their path. People often complain about pressure, wishing it would disappear, longing for a life free of difficulty, and dreaming of ease and comfort. But let me remind you, those who are truly impactful, those who leave a mark, those who fulfill their purpose, never experience life without pressure. Pressure is not a curse. It is a confirmation. It is a signal that you are moving in the right direction, that you are on the path to fulfillment, and that you are positioned for breakthrough. The more significant the purpose, the more intense the pressure. The greater the promise, the heavier the testing. The stronger the calling, the fiercer the opposition. When you understand this principle, pressure stops being an enemy and starts being an ally. It teaches patience, endurance, faith, and discipline. It strengthens your character, sharpens your focus, and prepares you for the moment when what has been promised will be released. Pressure proves that you are not ordinary, that you are not average, and that you are not insignificant. It confirms that what you carry is important enough to merit challenge, resistance, and refinement. It is the universe's way of saying, you matter. You are on the right track. You are being prepared for something greater than you have yet imagined. Attacks are not designed to define you. They are designed to distract you. Too often, when trouble comes, people allow it to rewrite the story of their lives. They see opposition and assume it must mean failure. They encounter criticism and believe it signals inadequacy. They face betrayal and think it proves they are unworthy. But nothing external has the power to define the essence of who you are. You are not your circumstances. You are not the opinions of others. You are not the temporary setbacks or the attacks that come against you. What defines you is the purpose within you, the destiny you are walking toward, and the resilience with which you respond to pressure. The enemy wants you to believe that the attack is the reality, but it is only a diversion from the truth of your identity and calling. When attacks come, their primary goal is to divert your attention. They want you to focus on fear instead of faith, on doubt instead of destiny, and on loss instead of the promise. They want you to spend your energy. They're defending yourself instead of advancing toward what you were created to accomplish. Every distraction, every disruption, and every difficulty has a single aim: to take your eyes off the prize. But those who understand this principle refuse to be consumed by the distraction. They recognize that while opposition may be loud, it is temporary. While attacks may seem overwhelming, they are only circumstantial. While challenges may feel personal, they are not an accurate measure of their value or purpose. The key is learning to stand firm, to stay focused, and to continue moving forward, even when the world is shouting for you to stop. Attacks are often loud and persistent, but loudness does not equal legitimacy. Just because a situation screams for your attention, just because circumstances scream for your surrender, does not mean they define the reality of your life. It is possible for chaos to surround you, and yet for victory to be quietly unfolding behind the scenes. It is possible for storms to rage, and yet for growth and preparation to be taking place. The enemy wants you to equate the noise with truth, but truth is far deeper, far stronger, and far more enduring than the temporary attacks that attempt to shake you. Your identity, your calling, and your destiny are rooted in something unshakable, something eternal, and something that cannot be rewritten by opposition. Many people fail to understand this because they allow the moment to dictate their perspective. They see failure in temporary setbacks, loss in unexpected challenges, and weakness in opposition. But those who walk in purpose understand that attacks do not determine who they are. They reveal where they are being tested, where they are being strengthened, and where they are being positioned for breakthrough. Attacks are like a mirror, reflecting the areas in which you are growing, the places where your faith is being stretched, and the moments where your resilience is being forged. They are not a verdict. They are a challenge. They are not a definition. They are a call to focus, to persist, and to rise above. Distraction is the weapon most commonly used against people with purpose. It comes in many forms: fear, anxiety, criticism, setbacks, delays, betrayal, and doubt. Its goal is to shift your focus from what you are building to what is breaking, from the vision inside you to the circumstances around you. It wants you to question whether you are enough, whether you can succeed, or whether it is even worth continuing. But the truth is that distraction is temporary, and those who refuse to be sidetracked are the ones who succeed. They recognize that every obstacle is a temporary test. Every attack is a temporary disturbance. And every criticism is a temporary noise that will fade when they remain steadfast in their purpose. The power to overcome distraction lies in perspective. When you understand that attacks are not about you, they are about resistance, you gain a freedom that allows you to stay focused. You understand that while circumstances may be chaotic, your calling is constant. While people may oppose you, your purpose cannot be stopped. While challenges may be loud, your vision is louder. Every attack is a reminder that you are moving in the right direction. Every attempt to distract you is proof that you are on a path that matters, and every obstacle is confirmation that what you carry is significant enough to warrant opposition. When you walk with this understanding, you no longer live in fear of attacks or distractions. You begin to navigate challenges with clarity and confidence, knowing that while opposition may press against you, it does not define you. It cannot rewrite the truth of who you are or the calling on your life. Attacks may try to shake your focus, but they cannot shift your destiny. They may try to steal your peace, but they cannot take your purpose. They may attempt to create doubt, but they cannot erase your faith, your vision, or the greatness that is built into your very being. Resistance is not a sign that you are failing. It is evidence that you are making progress. It is a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction and that what you are pursuing has value. Too often, when opposition arises, people become discouraged, believing that if the path is hard, it must mean they are unworthy or incapable. But the truth is that resistance always comes against those who are moving forward, against those who refuse to remain stagnant, and against those whose lives carry significance. If there were no resistance, it would mean that your efforts are unnoticed, that your purpose is inconsequential, or that your impact is minimal. The very presence of opposition proves that you are advancing towards something meaningful, that your influence is growing, and that your calling is real. Think about it, every major figure, every trailblazer, every person who left a mark on the world faced resistance. The greatest victories were always preceded by the greatest opposition. Resistance is not a signal that you should stop. It is a signal that you are on the right path. It is a marker, a signpost pointing towards significance. When the enemy recognizes potential, when forces rise against you, it is because they understand that if you succeed, it will alter the status quo. Resistance exists to challenge, to test, and to refine you. But it also serves as proof that your actions matter and that your journey is important. Resistance also reveals the depth of your commitment. When obstacles arise, it is easy to quit, to compromise, or to settle for less than your full potential. But those who persist in the face of resistance demonstrate a level of dedication and faith that sets them apart. Resistance tests whether you are willing to endure, whether you are willing to press forward, and whether you are willing to remain steadfast when circumstances are unfavorable. It reveals the difference between those who have temporary motivation and those who carry unshakable purpose. The fact that you are being opposed is a measure of your progress. It shows that you are moving from a place of preparation into a place of impact, that your steps are shifting the course of your destiny, and that your influence is beginning to be recognized in ways that matter. Every challenge, every setback, and every attack is a form of resistance that serves as a confirmation of progress. When doors seem closed, it is proof that you are moving towards something greater than your current circumstances. When relationships are strained, it is evidence that the decisions you are making carry weight and that your choices will have significant consequences. When finances fluctuate or opportunities seem delayed, it is a signal that your path is being tested and refined. Resistance confirms that your journey is not ordinary. that your calling is not minor and that the impact of your life is far-reaching. Many people do not understand this principle because they interpret resistance as failure. They see opposition and think that they are being rejected, ignored, or abandoned. But the reality is that resistance is a natural part of any journey that is designed to matter. It is the universe, the spiritual realm, and the very forces aligned against progress that validate the importance of your path. Resistance is not random. It is targeted. It is not meaningless. It is deliberate. It is designed to stretch your strength, sharpen your focus, and prepare you for the moment when your breakthrough arrives. Every time you encounter opposition and refuse to be stopped, you are proving that your progress cannot be hindered and that your purpose cannot be derailed. Resistance also develops resilience. The more you are opposed, the stronger you become. The more you face obstacles, the more capable you are of navigating future challenges. Resistance teaches patience, endurance, and perseverance. It trains your mind to remain focused on the vision, even when circumstances are chaotic. It strengthens your character, deepens your faith, and solidifies your determination. Those who understand the principle of resistance know that it is not the end of the road, but a marker along the path of progress. Every barrier, every trial, and every opposition serves to confirm that you are moving forward, that you are growing, and that the work you are doing is producing results that may not yet be visible, but are undeniably real. Resistance is not a punishment. It is a confirmation. It signals that your actions are being noticed, that your influence is increasing, and that your journey is unfolding according to a plan far greater than what you can see. It validates your efforts, proves your significance, and assures you that you are not in vain. The presence of opposition is a sign that your progress is real, that your path is important, and that your destiny is unfolding in alignment with purpose. Breakthroughs always follow battles. This is a principle that cannot be ignored, a truth that is as consistent as the rising of the sun. Every time you face difficulty, adversity, or opposition, it is not a sign that you are being abandoned or forgotten. It is a precursor to victory. Life has a way of using seasons of struggle to prepare you for the moment when doors open, chains are broken, and blessings are released. Those who understand this principle know that the fight they are facing is not a punishment, but a preparation. The harder the battle, the greater the breakthrough that awaits on the other side. Every delay, every struggle, and every test is intentional, designed to stretch your faith, strengthen your resolve, and position you for the triumph that is coming. Think about it. When you dig for gold, you have to go through layers of dirt, rock, and pressure before you reach the precious metal. You don't find gold on the surface, and you don't discover diamonds without enduring the intense conditions under which they are formed. The same is true for breakthroughs in life. They are hidden beyond the battles, waiting to be revealed after the struggle, and accessible only to those who are willing to persevere, endure, and remain faithful despite the difficulty. Every challenge is an essential part of the process, a refining fire that prepares you for the moment when what has been promised will finally manifest. Many people give up too soon because they do not understand that breakthroughs require battles. They see hardship and assume it is a sign of failure. They encounter resistance and believe it is a signal to quit. They face delay and think it is a confirmation that their dreams will never be realized. But the truth is that every obstacle you encounter is a setup for the revelation of your breakthrough. Every challenge is a classroom where patience is taught, resilience is developed, and faith is strengthened. Every struggle is a rehearsal for the victory that is about to come. The very fact that you are fighting, the very fact that you are being tested, is evidence that your breakthrough is near. Breakthroughs also require perseverance. They are not given to those who stop at the first sign of difficulty or who allow fear to dictate their actions. They come to those who refuse to quit, who continue pressing forward, even when the path is unclear, and who maintain faith when circumstances seem impossible. Perseverance is the bridge between battles and breakthroughs. It is the quality that ensures you do not miss your moment of victory because you became discouraged too early. The enemy knows this, which is why opposition is often strongest right before a breakthrough. When you feel like giving up, when it seems like the storm will never end, that is often the exact moment when your breakthrough is about to arrive. The intensity of the battle is directly proportional to the magnitude of the blessing on the other side. Every battle you face is shaping your character, developing your strength, and clarifying your purpose. It is teaching you lessons that comfort and ease could never provide. It is preparing you to receive the breakthrough in a way that you will appreciate, steward wisely, and use to fulfill your calling. Hardship cultivates humility, perseverance, and wisdom. It teaches you to rely on more than your own strength, to trust in guidance beyond what you can see, and to value the victory when it comes. Without the battle, the breakthrough would not have the same significance. The struggle makes the triumph meaningful, and the difficulty makes the victory sweet. Breakthroughs are also often the result of faith that refuses to be shaken. When you face challenges, it is easy to focus on what you see and feel discouraged by what appears impossible. But breakthroughs require keeping your eyes on the unseen, trusting that the effort, the prayer, and the persistence will yield results, even when the evidence is not immediately visible. Faith in the midst of the battle is the force that brings the breakthrough to light. It is the unshakable belief that no matter how fierce the opposition, the promise remains true, and the victory is inevitable. Every battle becomes the foundation for a new level of success, influence, and fulfillment. The principle is clear: breakthroughs do not come before battles. They are not the reward for ease, comfort, or a life free of struggle. They come as a result of endurance, faith, and the willingness to press through. When everything inside you says stop, the enemy understands this principle, which is why attacks often intensify when a breakthrough is imminent. When the pressure is high, the opposition is strong, and the storm seems unending. Remember that these are the conditions that precede breakthroughs. The battle is part of the process. The struggle is part of the plan. And the opposition is simply a confirmation that something greater is on the way. Standing, fighting, and rising is not just an action. It is a mindset, a declaration, and a commitment to refuse defeat, no matter the circumstances. Many people allow opposition to dictate their behavior, to define their identity, and to determine their path. They see attacks, setbacks, and challenges and immediately think they have no choice but to retreat, to compromise, or to surrender. But those who understand the power of standing, fighting, and rising recognize that their response to adversity is far more important than the adversity itself. Standing is a conscious choice to refuse intimidation, to refuse discouragement, and to refuse to let fear control your life. Fighting is the determination to continue pressing forward, to continue pursuing your purpose, and to continue believing in the promise, even when the road is difficult. Rising is the demonstration of resilience, the proof that you will not be broken, and the evidence that no matter how many times you are knocked down, you will get back up stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. When you stand, you take your place in the battle and refuse to be moved by the storms around you. Standing is not passive. It is active courage. It requires awareness of your value, recognition of your purpose, and faith in the unseen forces that guide you. Standing is saying to the world, to the opposition, and to every circumstance, I will not be shaken. I will not be intimidated. I will not yield to fear or doubt. It is the act of planting your feet firmly in your truth, of grounding yourself in the promises that have been given to you, and of refusing to let temporary setbacks determine your future. Standing creates a foundation of strength that allows you to withstand pressure, resist attacks, and maintain clarity of vision, even in the most turbulent seasons. Fighting is the perseverance that keeps you moving forward when every part of you wants to give up. Fighting is the courage to continue when the path is uncertain, when the opposition seems overwhelming, and when the weight of responsibility feels crushing. It is the choice to engage the battle rather than retreat, to confront the challenges rather than avoid them, and to pursue your purpose relentlessly, regardless of the cost. Fighting is not just about physical or external action. It is about mental, emotional, and spiritual determination. It is about refusing to let negativity, fear, or doubt dictate your actions. Fighting is the discipline to continue working, praying, learning, and believing when the world around you is chaotic. Every battle you fight strengthens your resolve, sharpens your focus, and prepares you for the victory that is coming. Rising is the culmination of standing and fighting. It is the tangible proof of resilience, the visible demonstration of strength, and the evidence that no opposition can permanently defeat you. Rising requires courage, faith, and the ability to refuse to be defined by past failures or current struggles. It is the act of lifting yourself above the circumstances, reclaiming your power, and stepping into the destiny that has been prepared for you. Rising shows the world that you are not a victim of circumstance, that you are not limited by opposition, and that you are fully capable of achieving what you were created to accomplish. Rising is not just about returning to where you were. It is about moving to a higher level, stepping into new opportunities, and embracing growth that was previously blocked by fear, hesitation, or doubt. The principle of standing, fighting, and rising is essential because life will continuously challenge you. Opposition will appear in many forms: criticism, betrayal, financial struggles, health issues, relationship difficulties, or internal doubts. Every challenge tests your commitment, your faith, and your perseverance. Those who refuse to stand, fight, and rise are often defeated not by the circumstances themselves, but by their own inability to respond with courage and determination. Standing, fighting, and rising is the secret to transforming obstacles into opportunities, struggles into lessons, and attacks into breakthroughs. It is the mindset of champions, the habit of those who leave a lasting impact, and the behavior of those who refuse to be defined by temporary adversity. When you choose to stand, you are declaring that nothing will move you from your purpose. When you choose to fight, you are declaring that no obstacle will deter your progress. When you choose to rise, you are declaring that your destiny is greater than any setback. Together, these actions create a momentum that cannot be stopped. They produce a spirit of resilience that withstands pressure, a strength that overcomes opposition, and a faith that conquers doubt. They are the pillars upon which every breakthrough is built, every victory is secured, and every promise is fulfilled. The act of standing, fighting, and rising is not optional for those who want to live a life of purpose, influence, and impact. It is essential. It is the difference between surrendering to circumstance and rising to your destiny, between letting attacks define you and using them to strengthen you, and between remaining ordinary and becoming extraordinary.